So with summer starting in less than 15 days, you of course want to set some goals. Now those goals can be anything in this world, but since you've clicked on this video, you seem to have a problem, many of us including me, and that is enjoying games. With summer hitting, nobody will go out at extreme hot times, so what's better to do when you are home than to play games, of course. But we've genuinely started to struggle with enjoying games, so I'm gonna be direct and help you enjoy games once again this summer. To even start enjoying games, we gotta bring it back to the basics and put on the table everything that's actually making us not enjoy games like we once did. Now, I know many of y'all ain't gonna support me, but I think even more of y'all will support me when I say this, that short form content, especially TikTok, because it was like the beginning of short form content, just brainwashed us all. It's fucked with our retention, mind retention. We cannot be focused on anything for more than 20 minutes. And I know this from my experience, and I'm trying to fix this, and I think I'm doing a pretty good job in fixing this. But before, I was like, let's say playing Fortnite, and while loading into a game which takes like, I don't know, 30 seconds, I would open TikTok, just scroll, just to pass those 30 seconds faster. And with each scroll, just think, oh my god, this is taking so long. Will this ever stop? This also happens to a lot of story mode games, like when you have to load something, or when you're doing something that you genuinely don't care about. You're going to just open TikTok or Instagram Reels, doesn't matter, just mindlessly scroll, which is pretty much messing up with our brains, and our attention span is just, it's not existent at this point. Like, we all know that. I don't wanna talk too much about it, because we all know that our attention span is pretty bad. The so-called paradox of choice is also what's making us not enjoy games anymore. You see, before, without all these subscriptions like PS Plus, PS Extra, Xbox Game Pass, and a lot of more subscriptions, if you didn't do like illegal games, like go to AP keys and crack the game and all that, I mean crack the game in a way that you install it illegally, not in a way you was thinking, you wouldn't have much of a choice. Most likely you'll buy a game, maybe 2, maybe 3 games, and you would like feel guilt if you didn't finish those games, because you genuinely paid for those games and you would want to finish them, and you want to achieve as much as you can from those games. But now when you have so many choices, you pay like, I don't know, what's the price, $150 something for a year of PS Extra, which is crazy. You get so many games, but that paradox of choice, and it's happening to me constantly, to the point like, I love PS Extra subscription, but maybe I love it so much that I don't even give a fuck about any games there. I only play a game there when I see something that I already know is a banger or will probably be a banger. There are a lot of hidden gems there, and I just don't care about them because they are not standing out to me, because I have multiple, over hundreds of choices, which is crazy. So that paradox of choice is pretty dangerous, and you should stop that. You should install a game and try to finish it, or just try to finish it. You don't need to finish, but you need to try to finish. Now, another thing is limited time. Now, this can and also may not be true. For some people it can be true, especially for people that are older, because they most likely have jobs and they genuinely don't have much time to play video games. But if you had a good routine, you have time for everything. You have time for your job, for your workout, for your family, for your girlfriend, for your friends, for video games. You just gotta balance it all out. You will have time for everything. But let's say you don't know how to balance it out and you don't have time for it. That's fine. There isn't a fix for that. I mean, quit your job, that is a fix, but that isn't the good fix, you know? Many people say, oh, I just don't have time, and they're like 17, 16, 15 years old. Dude, you have all the time in this world. Me, I'm 16 years old, and I know that I have all the time in this world, and I do a lot. I don't want to praise myself, but I do a lot, and I still find time to game, which means everyone can. Like, you just need to organize your day. You don't need to go and scroll 15 hours on fucking Instagram Reels, or I don't know. That's not humane. Another thing that's happening to a lot of people, including me, is subconscious productivity guilt. This happens to me a lot, and by a lot I mean a lot. When I open a game, when I play a game, I just think that I'm not doing enough, and that is not good. That will bring me nowhere. But if you think of it from that perspective, then yeah, it basically brings you nowhere. But if you're a content creator like I am, or if you're anything that needs creativity, playing games and watching movies, watching TV shows, watching YouTube videos, doesn't matter. That stuff all brings you creativity, so that's pretty important. You gotta also relax. You gotta give yourself some time for yourself. Maybe that's reading books, maybe that's playing games, doesn't matter. You need to have time for yourself, because that's very important. Games just became too generic. There are many similar titles, so the person that has this problem thinks that all the games are the same, and also this ties to one game only or few game cycle. Let's say you install 2 games and you just stick to them because you get kind of comfortable and switch only between those 2 games and never explore the gaming world, which is huge. And by huge, I really mean huge. And this has happened to me a lot with PS Plus. I just have like 5 or 6 games installed and I just switch between them. Maybe now and then I install a new story mode game, but that doesn't happen so much. Now, since we've gone through the basics, the reason you clicked on this video is to get an answer how to actually enjoy games again. Now, this one is hard, but this one here is what I like to call the indie refresh. Basically, you start with an indie game. After all these years of playing pointlessly AAA games, wasting your time on grinding and all that, you refresh your brain, yourself, your everything with indie game. Basically, start with an indie game, and though, yeah, it may seem boring, and it can be, and probably sometimes will be, you need to push yourself at least, let's say, I don't know, 2 hours is kind of the golden rule that I use to actually know if you like the game. Like, if I don't like the game in the first 2 to 3 hours, I quit because I don't want to waste any more of my time, but I am willing to spare 2 to 3 hours for a game to decide if I will like it, and that's what you gotta do too if you wanna get out of this cycle and this paradox. And the reason I call it the indie refresh is because these games have easier mechanics. Now, some can be challenging, yeah, like Hollow Knight and like Celeste and all these games, but these games have more easier mechanics. They're tied to fewer buttons, if you understand what I mean, and they do not have like all that skill mechanics and all that shit. Also, developers put more soul into making these games, which is pretty important these days when everybody just tries to copy the same format that is working. It's these games are kind of like YouTube. The gaming community is not community, but the games are kind of like YouTube. Everybody wants to copy what's working. Everybody wants to copy Mr. Beast. Everybody wants to copy Rockstar. You know what I mean? These games actually bring something new, which also is kind of rare, as I already said. So these games are generally refreshing to take a break from AAA games and from like pointlessly grinding. If you really want to start enjoying games this summer again, you gotta play the game the way you want. You don't need, and you trust me, you really do not need to go to YouTube instantly and search for the best ways to play a game or for any tips or to search for hints, because you should take your time. And this matters a lot, because what we all are usually doing is when we reach a point that we don't understand, like 2 minutes, we instantly go to YouTube to find a way out, or to Google, doesn't matter, it's usually YouTube. Nowadays can be TikTok because it's shorter, but this can be good if you genuinely don't have the time. But in most of the cases, we're just lazy to try and understand what we don't seem to understand right now. So that's pretty bad. You gotta push your brain to the limits that you really think you can take. So please do not go to the YouTube searching for how to pass this level, how to pass this stick instantly. You gotta try something. Now, this part is for people that have friends. Simply starting a 2-player story mode game with your friend can be way more enjoyable, and you will genuinely start to appreciate games way more if you change the way you usually play a story mode game, because we all play story mode games solo. And if you play a game with your friend, there are games that are, there are plenty of games that are the games for 2 players or even more. And even if you don't have any friends to play with, there are of course plenty of communities and people that have the same problem as you, having no friends to play the game with. And so you can always get to solve this problem, reaching out to other people, going to Discord, the communities, going to, I don't know, Reddit or stuff. And you can even get to know the person better, and you can even get to know some new friends. Now, with all this being said, I genuinely don't want you and me to waste another summer grinding that one video game, because you will be more happy, and trust me, you will, if you learn how to love games again.